Hi. So here we go. G major in 3 octaves. It's probably not good to have given you this right before a break, but it could be fantastic. So that way you get some feedback. You're welcome to send me videos and ask questions. But we're talking about a little bit of a new skill as we shift up a little higher on the fingerboard. So let's just quick, you know the bottom octave just fine. And then you're coming up. We're going to come up to 3rd position right there, that D. In tune though. We're going to go up to 6th position. So, meaning this is 3rd, 4th, 5th. The next note would be 6th position. We're going to put our first finger right there. So that's what we're aiming for. But what we're going to do is we're going to change the shape of our hand just a little bit so that those notes are a lot easier to get in tune and to put vibrato on them when we're ready. Do a whole bunch of different things. So our hand shape is just going to change just a little bit. So this is what it'll look like. So your thumb isn't going to be hanging out on the other side of the fingerboard anymore. We're going to bring it under a little bit. So you've got a lot more space for your hand to move around the fingerboard. This helps like if you need to play more than one string in that position, because if you're playing like this, like keeping your hand kind of where you're kind of more diagonally approaching the strings, it's a lot harder to reach these notes in tune, and vibrato is a lot harder. So just bringing your hand around gives you a lot more space. This is where wrist vibrato is a lot more helpful, at least in my mind, than arm. So, because then this could potentially get in the way. So how that'll look. Like that. So my thumb has come up. I'll show you my thumb, this position, this way. Sorry. So I went from here and let it slide underneath. So it's kind of hanging out over here. And I let my hand, see how much space I've got for my fingers to really get around the upper bout and then get up onto the fingerboard nice and curved and able to reach all sorts of things should I need them. So I'll show you that. I'll show that again from this way so you can kind of see my thumb. Get my thumb underneath. You can always compare that D to the other D. Now when you're coming back, I always aim for where's my first finger going is the question. I want this finger to go down to 3rd position, which is on the A. So that's where I'm headed, right? So my thumb got ready and I brought my hand up. So the shift down is just I know where my first finger is going to land, and then I know the spacing, because if I know where my one is, then I can just place everybody else because I'm familiar with the spacing. So that's something to recognize is the pattern that your hand is in for the position you're going to. So I know where one is going, and that'll determine kind of the shape my hand will be in. So up here, down here, up here, down there. So hopefully that helps a little bit. I don't think talked about the arpeggio. I'll quick do a little bit on that. So it's just the same position we're going to shift to, but one string sooner. It's a G. Now up here, I tend to leave some fingers down. When I hit this G, I leave it there until I scooch it over one string to take this D near the end. So I go 1, leave the 3 down on this B because I'll say in a second, but then I can just scooch my 1 over and then 4 at the very top for that top G. So how this will go, so the reason I'm leaving this 3 down, 1, I don't have to find it again, and 2, it'll actually help me find this top note because they're a half step apart at the top. So the intonation at the top will be better. You are going to play this chord at some point. In your career, it's going to happen. So you're teaching finger independence for those fingers way at the top, and you're prepping for chords. So you've got the 1, 3, hold it down, scoot the 1 over, 4. So, and then again, it's where's my 1 going? I'm going to a D in 3rd position. That was a little out of tune, sorry. There we go. So feel free to compare that with your open G. My thumb's getting ready. My hand is gonna kind of open up and come around. So nice and slow. Feel free to take those shifts crazy slow because you're teaching your muscles to do something new. You're training them in a new skill. This is a higher shift than we've used, and we haven't used the notes up here before. So not really. So giving your hand a lot of time to get it right, it'll pay off a lot later. Just, it will. I remember having to kind of reteach some of my muscles what I wanted them to do, and that was not helpful. So if you're confused about any of the motions that are happening, like your thumb coming from hanging out over here, it comes around. On the viola, our upper bout is kind of giant, and so actually I end up on top of the upper bout and with my thumb off to this, like up here. On the violin, I doubt you'll need that because, I mean, maybe if your hand is kind of small, you'll end up bringing it around like this. I think that's how violinists will do it, but on viola, it's just too giant to do that. So I haven't had a need to learn to get up any higher than this on a violin. So, where it's just kind of like, okay, but it comes around, so it's off to the side. Oh, where's that angle that you can see? So it's up here, and it opens up when I need that space. So you notice what happens to my hand. It's nice and curved. Things being soft and round make it a lot easier to do vibrato and keep things resonant. So let me know if any of that doesn't make sense, or if you need more clarification on the scale, the fingering, the arpeggio, any of it. But hope that helps, and happy Christmas.